Senate President Chis Escudero has appointed Attorney Reginald Tongol as the official spokesperson of the impeachment court.
He now joins us to shed light on the court's next steps. Good morning, Attorney Reggie.
Good morning sa inyong dalawa.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you
Thank
again.
you for joining us.
All right.
Let's get right to it.
It's my pleasure
Of
to be here.
course.
So should we get it straight?
Sure.
All right, let's start. Attorney, the word for the day, remand, return versus, ano yung isang word nila?
Ano?
Remand versus return. Oo, di ba? So, why did the Senate, or let me rephrase myself, the impeachment court choose this route? There was another option by Senator Coco Pimentel, which is advisories or notices. I know you're going to tell me this is a political exercise, this is a collegial body nagbotohan, pero it was not put out there to a vote. Ano ba ang difference in outcomes when you say, rinemand mo sa Congress versus yung kay Senator Coco? Anong possible scenarios if you took the other route?
Okay, tumbukin ko lang no, yung sa sinasabi mo kanyang political process. This is not a purely legalistic process.
Yeah.
Kailangan merong political accommodations na mangyayari. So in order for Senator Judge Bato de la Rosa to amend his motion at the time from dismissal to a remand from Senator Judge Cayetano, it has to have a consent of the movant. So at that time, hindi nasa floor yung motion ni Senator Judge Coco Pimentel na advisory. So it wasn't taken to a vote, katulad ng sinabi mo kanina. So yun yung nangyari sa deliberations. So, kasi merong issue. Merong mga binring up si Senator Judge De La Rosa na tungkol sa infirmity ng articles of impeachment. So, instead of dismissal, it was the wisdom of the impeachment court at that time, after due deliberations, to just instead remand it to ask for the House of Representatives to comply as to the certification that there was no violation of the one-year bar rule.
Mga clarification ang hinahanap.
Clarification, yes, pero through a resolution, because as you know, in a court proceeding, it has all to be a formal communication.
But yung initially, wait lang, before na, yung kay Bato was to dismiss. What happens kung dinismiss to? What would have been then the action of the impeachment court?
I think the impeachment court at that time wouldn't be prepared to discuss in length that proposal of moving for the dismissal. That's why tumayo kagad si Senator Judge Cayetano bago pa magkaroon ng further debates on the matter para lang to shorten the proceedings and to give a concession na wag na lang munang i-dismiss, because Senator Judge De La Rosa also considered at that time na baka hindi niya makuha yung numbers when it comes to the dismissal motion. Kaya he needed to amend it at that time.
So, shed some light on this point, Attorney Reggie, that saying na, of course, yung mga legal luminaries are saying na, bakit parang ang mga senator judges ay nag-aabogado ngayon doon sa accused, no, which is si VP Sara Duterte, when in fact, all the legalities or matters na defense na dapat i-discuss should be raised by the alleged, no, or the respondent.
This is an oversimplification of things, pero we value those views by the different constitutionalists or lawyers or even commentators. Kasi, as sinasabi ko nga, this is a political process. So we are getting a glimpse of what it entails to deliberate a certain motion. Sa ordinary collegial judicial bodies like the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals or CTA, ganito sila sa loob ng korte, hindi lang natin nakikita. So, doon, pag meron nakalatag sa kanilang motion o petisyon o complaint, determine nila kung sufficient ba ito for us to act on it. So, they will either take the stand of the movant or they will take the stand of the opposer para makita nila kung ano yung mas tamang legal theory na mas magiging sa kanila okay sa kanilang konsensya on the action that they will undertake. And that is what we had a glimpse 2 nights ago when the impeachment court deliberated. Kaya lahat tayo nag-aaral.
Yes. Kasi di ba sinasabi, for an ordinary person like us, would say na, of course, bakit pag tinanong mo ang House Prosecution Panel na, did you guys violate any rule, constitutional rule? Syempre, ang sagot namin, hindi. So why do you need to ask that question?
Kailangan kasing meaning yung question
yung
na...
di ba yung kaya ni-remand? Those one of the two reasons bakit ni-remand yung impeachment of the case.
Kailangan kasing tanungin yun kasi sa Section 3, Number 5, Article 11 ng Constitution, nakalagay doon na dapat hindi pwede mag-initiate ng within 1 year. This was upheld already by Francisco versus House of Representatives and Gutierrez versus House of Representatives. However, ang hindi binabanggit ng some of the constitutionalists or yung mga ibang mga commentators is the fact that the Senate was given authority by the Constitution na sila lang yung mag-try. And when we say try under Nixon versus United States na decision that was cited in the 2 cases of the Supreme Court that I said, sinabi doon na ang ibig sabihin ng try is not just yung labanan ng bakbakan or presentation ng evidence, wala halos limitation ang pagtatry except for 2, which is the 2/3 vote and the penalty na i-impose doon sa impeach, which is removal and disqualification. Yun lang. However, in the House of Representatives, when they were given the power by the Constitution to initiate the articles of impeachment, they are given several limitations. One, dapat 1/3 yung vote,
Yes.
diba? Either by plenary or by committee, tapos ipa-plenary, diba? Ang pangalawa dyan is yung 1-year bar rule. So in the attestation of the articles of impeachment, there was only an attestation as to the first, the compliance with the 1/3 bar, 1/3 votes. Pero walang attestation or certification regarding sa compliance with the 1-year bar rule. However, last night, yesterday, nagpasa na yata yung Kongreso ng resolution.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't yet officially transmitted to the court. And as you know, pag sa korte, kailangan formal lahat. So, it has to be formally transmitted as a compliance to the court so that the court will be able to receive it formally.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Attorney Reggie. You asked, kasi syempre hindi kami lawyers, pero from a perspective of taong bayan, the presiding officer was asking for clarifications. When you mean clarifications, pag sumagot ang Kongreso officially in its capacity as prosecutors, will at face value the presiding officer accept the reply, or will it again be put to a vote?
Under sa rules ng Senado, it wasn't the presiding officer Escudero ang nag-move noong tungkol sa issues. It was the impeachment court. The impeachment court, by a vote of 18-5, said that we needed additional information to attest kung meron bang violation ng 1-year bar rule at if this Congress will be able to bind the next Congress. In order to settle those issues, we need a resolution from the 20th Congress that the actions of the 19th Congress will be crossovered or will be adopted by the next Congress. So it was the presiding officer has the power to already have a resolution on that on his own. However, instead of doing that, he submitted it to the vote of the plenary or to the senator judges. So may option siya under the rules to do that. Kasi mas okay naman yun for a lively debate.
So the question is, can the House of Representatives bind the 20th Congress, and will that be sufficient enough for the impeachment court na sabihin ng 19th, we guarantee tutuloy namin to sa 20th Congress? And what if 20th Congress affirms this, pero the 20th sa Senate naman ayaw nila? What happens then?
Okay, ibahin natin yung concept sa Senate. Parang once the court acquires jurisdiction over a matter, we adhere to the principle na yung adherence jurisdiction. Meaning, hindi na pwedeng mawala ng jurisdiction yung korte. And that was the purpose of putting in the order that the impeachment complaint is not dismissed and that the case is not terminated doon sa order ng impeachment court. Kasi nga, they want to clarify na hindi ito nagtatanggal ng jurisdiction ng Senate Impeachment Court. Pero on the 20th Congress naman, kasi iba yung nangyayari sa House. Sa House talagang totally nadi-dissolve talaga sila pag nagkakaroon ng election every 3 years. So, because of that, kailangan yung next na Congress, which is the 20th Congress, has to be able to ratify the actions of the previous Congress. It is just a matter of having a official documentation na they will still pursue this case come the 20th Congress.
Okay, so right now, what happens next? The House already deferred yung impeachment case na niremand sa kanila ng House of Representatives, and at the same time adopted the resolution saying na wala naman silang violate na constitutional rule. So what happens next? Ano na mangyayari? Kasi sabi nila ngayon nasa bola na ng HOR yung impeachment, but a lot of people are saying ang impeachment trial is in limbo.
We have to highlight the fact that the impeachment trial is not in limbo. As the impeachment court issued summons yesterday, which was received by the Vice President Duterte, magko-continue magra-run yung time niya to file an answer, which is
Within
10 days. So until June 21, but because it's a Saturday, it will be Monday, June 23, where we expect the answer or whatever motion that they will file. And after the answer, the prosecution has 5 days to file their reply or until June 28. So tamang-tama lang. Whether or not may order to remand or to refer back the articles.
Same timeline.
Same timeline pa rin. So, yun yung hina-highlight ng impeachment court. Walang nawala sa parehong panig. Pareho silang umaandar pa rin yung kanilang mga pwedeng legal remedy.
At least,
Pero,
go ahead.
I want to clear that out also because sinasabi ni Congresswoman Luistro na they also want to clear that out sa Senate bakit nawala, naging moot and academic yung kanilang readings of the articles of impeachment. And will that be pursued pa rin after all of this, bago mag-proceed yung trial?
Doon sa deliberasyon tungkol sa presentation, I think it was Senator Judge Pimentel who raised that issue. Ang botohan or ang ruling ng court doon is wala ng presentation because of the fact meron pang mga certification na hinihingi. So kung sa susunod na convening ng impeachment court, magkakaroon pa ba ng presentation o wala? Parang wala na. Kasi based sa rules ng Senado, kailangan mauna yung presentation. However, nung nire-raise yun ni Senator Judge Pimentel, wala na sa rules yung inadapt niya kasi yung rules sa US Tinanggal niya yung isang buong section ng pagbabasa. So kaya naman ang ginawa ng impeachment court was to refer to the Committee on Justice and then consider the actions of the court that night na wala ng presentation kasi nga it is as if the court already took cognizance of the existence of the impeachment articles.
So regarding the timeline, at least may clarity tayo dyan, no? But the other question na rin-raise, I think this was Attorney Theodore Te, was saying that, the timeline may still remain the same no matter ano yung avenue na tatahakin. But the question is, parang binigyan daw ng Senator Cayetano ng option ang defense kasi political move in the future to use as a technicality na hindi nyo sinunod ang process by yung articles of impeachment na pinagbasa, and later on possibly the defense could use this as a tactic to totally junk the entire complaint altogether.
So, the impeachment court, like any other court, does not address the opinions of outsiders in the court. Only those properly filed in the court can the court act. Kaya passive usually ang mga korte. Hindi na siya, ito yung pagkakaiba ng Senado bilang active na nagpapasa ng lehislasyon. Doon sa role naman ng korte na parang kung wala kang pinasa, bahala ka. Nakuha mo, it's not up for the court to give direction kung paano nyo gagawin yung trabaho nyo bilang mga abogado. So, doon sa sinasabing yon, hindi namin alam kung paano gagawin ng depensa at prosecution. Lahat tayo, pwede tayong magbigay ng opinion natin kung paano, but that is only an opinion. It might be persuasive to some of the senator judges, but some of the senator judges also might see it as nothing. No, so depende 'yun sa kanila. That's why it's always the wisdom of the senator judges in the impeachment.
Let's simplify the question lang. Did the impeachment court by doing this, if ever, it's still according to the rules? In other words, hindi kayo nag-circumvent, hindi kayo lumagpas sa rules, parang magkakaroon ng technicality. Let's just from that standpoint.
Yun yung maganda doon sa ano na yun, no, sa rules. Kasi nga ang unang interpretasyon doon kailangan ng pagbabasa. Nung binasa namin at kinumpara yung rules ng Senado ng US, no, na talagang inadapt natin, 90% yung Senate rules natin ngayon, yung Resolution 39, yung particular section na yon ng pagbabasa, tinanggal talaga. So by intention of the one who, I think it was Senator Coco at the time who sponsored the Resolution 39 or the Senate Rules
So
on
2019
Impeachment.
ba to?
No, I think it was in 2011.
2011.
So siya yata yung tinanggal yon. So if you apply statutory construction sa mga abogado, maalalaman yan, dahil tinanggal yon, ibig sabihin, wala na dapat. Intention yun na wala. Although, hindi natanggal yung reference ng presentation of the articles in the other sections. For one reason or the other, we didn't know. So, the impeachment court, based on that information and based on the textual reading of the rules, sabi nila, sige, pwede na nating i-waive to. Kasi sabi ko nga, this is a political process. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. So there has to be a concession. Iko-convene ba tayo o hindi? Pero napaaga pa nga ang convening eh. Diba? Naging June 10 pa kaysa 11.
But let's say, for example, all goes well according to the process na pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, and 20th Congress na at yung pinagdedebatihan pa rin kung tatawid ba to sa 20th Congress or not. Pero let's say, for example, tumawid na nga siya sa 20th Congress. Kaagad ba yung yung mga incoming senators magte-take ng oath right away and proceed with the trial?
I think that is the plan. Upon convening of the 20th Congress on July 28th, no, yun yung isa sa mga gagawin yata, no. However, hindi pa natin nakikita yung official na nakalagay sa order of business ng 20th Congress. And at the same time, at that time, meron na ring mga bagong papasok na House prosecutors, I think. So on the part of the House as well, we expect na file din sila ng new appearance to the impeachment court para to update kung yung mga bagong House prosecutors.
So kumaga, August we're taking a look at after SONA.
Yung swearing in, baka around that time, baka last week of July or kung yung araw na yon. And if there are any other filings before that time frame, then if the impeachment court has already received the compliance from the House, then by first week of August, baka mag-convene na.
Siya. Pero yun nga, yung sinasabi ng House of Representatives through Congresswoman Luistro, they want to see clarification doon sa mga niremand sa kanila ng Senate. Were they able to send their clarification?
As of this morning, wala pa. No? Kailangan kasi ng formal. Sabi ko nga, kailangan may formal submission. So if ever they will already use the electronic filing, kasi we adopted the electronic filing in the lower courts sa Senate Impeachment Court, then we're expecting mai-email within the day, no, or tomorrow. But of course, it's not up for the court to to second guess the actions of the House prosecutors.
So para klaro lang, no, you're looking for two things regarding yung one-year ban.
Correct.
And kung if they can bind the 20th Congress.
Correct. A ratification by the
Ratification.
20th of the actions of
So
the 19th.
when you mean ratification of the 20th, on behalf of the 20th, the 19th will do this? Or yung mga incoming ang kailangan pumirma din?
Yes, yung mga incoming in the 20th Congress once it is convened. Kasi as of now, hindi pa buhay yung 20th Congress. So, pag nabuhay sila on the July 28 upon the doon pa lang sila magkakaroon ng formal action on that.
So kumbaga yung rini-request ng impeachment court, only one can be satisfied in the immediate, and regarding the 20th Congress, that can only be satisfied during SONA or pag nag-convene na.
Correct. It necessarily
Okay.
entails waiting.
Okay.
So, kasi nga, hindi pa magagawa ng 19th Congress ngayon.
So with all the things that you have explained, can you categorically say na the senators,
There will be a trial?
No, the
Akala ko.
impeachment court is within the due process, within the Constitution, unlike dun sa mga sinasabi ng mga critics, mga legal luminaries na some of the maneuvers that happened during the other day's hearing ay unconstitutional.
Well, ang sasabihin lang ng impeachment court dyan, they have the sole power to try. And under the Nixon versus U.S. case cited in Francisco and Gutierrez case, ang ibig sabihin ng try, walang limitation doon. What the try means. As tayong common people, ang alam natin ng trial, yung nakikita natin sa TV na nagbabakbakan ng abogado. However, for us lawyers, we know na trial is a long
Entails
process.
a
Meron
lot
pang
of,
preliminaries dyan.
It's not the actual courtroom drama.
Medyo boring talaga. Maliit lang na porsyento yung talagang bakbakan ng mga abogado. So, kailangan natin ipaintindi sa mga tao na kasama to sa proseso. So, at ang pinakamaganda dyan is umuusad na yung proseso. Yun yung kailangan nating tandaan dyan na nag-convene na yung court, nag-umakto na yung court, at based doon sa interpretasyon nila ng konstitusyon, ng kapangyarihan nila, ito yung pinakamainam na bagay na gawin para magpatuloy yung impeachment trial.
I'd like to ask you about, di ba nag-swear in na yung mga senators as just judges, no? Impeachment judge. So, si Senator Amy at saka si Senator Bato gave I think, a speech which was kulang na lang in support of the Dutertes. And I remember a pronouncement ni SB Cheese a few months back saying he warned the senators to try to be impartial in all the things that they say as much as possible because this can cast a shadow of a doubt sa impeachment court. Ngayon, as sworn-in judges and sworn in to be impartial, and after these pronouncements, ano ang pwedeng mangyari sa dalawang nag-pronounce ng support for the Dutertes?
We don't know their actions, no, kung mag-i-inhibit
Pero
sila or whatever.
legally, they cannot inhibit, no? They can't be compelled.
Yes, because if they inhibit, kailangan 2/3 pa rin ng vote ng senator judges. So,
Based on what computation?
Based on the 23.
Regardless if they inhibit.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. Kasi wala yung isa di ba?
Yeah.
So, only 23 senators can form a quorum kasi may isang seat na umalis si Senator Angara.
Yeah.
So, out of the 23, so kasama pa rin yung number
Kasama pa
nila.
rin
Pag
naman
nag-inhibit sila, hindi naman sila natanggalan ng powers bilang senators.
It's just to try lang.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's also explain also to the public yung debate also na hindi co-equal branch ngayon ang Senate at saka House of Representatives as an impeachment court because of course still yung mga legal luminaries, mga constitutionalists are saying hindi pwedeng ganun kasi co-equal branch. Ang alam natin talaga co-equal branches ang House of Representatives at Senate.
Thank you for asking that, no. Gusto rin nating ipaalala sa mga tao, no, na ang impeachment court ay sui generis. So nakita natin 'yan nung third yung impeachment ni ni Chief Justice Corona at saka ni former President Estrada, nakita natin na sila Senator Judge Miriam Santiago, 'di ba, kinakastigo yung House prosecutors, etc. So that is the usual thing in a courtroom. Araw-araw pag uma-attend kami mga abogado sa courtroom, kahit sino ka pa man, kahit kilalang abogado ka na rin, makakastigo ka at kailangan mong sundin kung ano yung sinasabi ng korte. So dito, ang konstitusyon na nagsabi, ang korte, ang Senado at ang House ang magpo-prosecute nito. So they are just litigants in this whole process. So hindi siya equal ng katulad ng pagkakakilala natin sa Senado at sa House kapag sila ay nagpo-perform ng legislative function. This is a different function na iba na rin yung dynamics of the two houses.
I'd like to see that kasi the impeachment court sent the request for yung certification, but parang ang wording kasi na ginamit was not to the prosecution team. The clarification was to the House. So therefore, when the impeachment court sent a request for clarification, it seemed like daw sa House that they were instructing the House na they have to comply. Iba daw sana if they were instructing the prosecution team.
Because the House is the litigant, sila yung nag-transmit
so you
ng
cannot
articles
separate
of impeachment, and they just, of course, hindi kayang umattend ng buong 200 plus congressman sa Senate. So they have to assign the function of prosecuting to the House prosecutors. So, and as of now, I think wala pang formal entry of appearance yung mga House prosecutors sa impeachment court. They transmitted before an appearance, pero mga around February or March, I think. But it wasn't transmitted or formally filed to the impeachment court kasi wala pang impeachment court at the time. So technically, wala pang prosecution team na nire-recognize ang impeachment court.
So you are the spokesperson of the impeachment court recently appointed by Senator Chis Escudero, right? No? Can you walk us through the guidelines of how will the media do the coverage of the impeachment, no? Impeachment trial and all that.
From now until kung may trial na mismo.
I think with what happened in the last few days, no, Senator, Judge, or Presiding Officer Escudero is of the idea na dapat this is fully covered by the media. Kaya nga free for all. And by assigning a spokesperson, we are already ensuring the public na this process is above board and also it will continue on up to the next Congress. Diba? Kasi they are also mindful of their responsibilities to as much as possible not talk about the merits of the case in public based on the rules of the Senate on impeachment, Rule 18, I think, no? But hindi na siya naging masyadong stickler for the rules doon. Kasi nga gusto niya magkaroon ng mas magandang discourse sa publiko. This is the very fact that this process is political. Kasi nga, the public has a say in it because of their fair comment of the acts of public officers compared to the mga ginagawang deliberations ng Supreme Court. Hindi natin napapanood, hindi natin nalalaman. Malalaman na lang natin yung desisyon, di ba? Pero ito, mula sa deliberation, mula sa pag-move hanggang sa pagre-resolve at pagde-decide, mapapanood ng publiko.
So we'll be seeing a lot of you as the impeachment proceeds, tama naman, ano? Hindi, ikaw yung mas may interview kaysa dun sa mga senator judges.
I think yun yung goal nila.
Pero I'm not sure also kasi dun sa mga past impeachment cases that we tried before, years ago, mga bata pa tayo.
Mga bata pa tayo eh.
Nag-assign din ba sila ng spokesperson?
Si Jeko lang yung ano yata dun eh.
Nag-assign ba silang spokesperson or sui generis ka rin?
Hindi ko rin maalala. Alam ko si Attorney Karen Jimeno sa depensa dati ni Chief Justice Corona. Pero nung panahon ni Era, bata pa ako eh. May gatas pa kami sa labi.
Whether in trial or not, you're the official spokesperson of the impeachment court. So any issues or questions thereof ngayon kasi nakasinidi na, di ba? So sa'yo idadaan para malinaw lang sa lahat.
At saka hindi naman natin sinasabi na porket meron pang compliance yung House na gagawin, wala nang mangyayari, wala nang ipa-file yung prosecutors or wala nang ipa-file yung defense. Meron nga, katulad ng sinabi ko, yung answer tsaka reply, tapos any motion, kunwari motion for clarification, so magbibigay pa rin tayo ng update update sa inyo para doon sa mga proseso na yan. Ano yung susunod na action?
Next steps.
So, for them, no delays pa daw.
Lastly, barring any unforeseen circumstances, as of today, as of this hour, tuloy ang trial?
Tuloy.
Okay.
Tuloy.
Okay.
Alright.
Trial proper. Not the...
Matutuloy. Katulad ng sinasabi ko, both defense and the prosecution can file any motion pag nag-convene ulit yung impeachment court and magkakaroon ulit either ng deliberations, ng debate, kung magkakaroon ng motion to dismiss, which is of course any litigator worth his salt.
Yes.
Alam na kagad na yun yung next move,
Yeah.
di ba? I mean, as a litigator as well, yun
An
din yung
option.
gagawin ko. I mean, I will exhaust all my remedies. So I think the impeachment court naman is wise enough to know na there are certain remedies that both parties can undertake, and we will just cross the bridge when we get there kapag natanggap na yung mga
But
motions.
very
na
quickly,
yun.
before we let you go, kasi may mga pending cases na file sa Supreme Court regarding to the constitutionality of this case. Let's say, for example, nag-decide for and against, let's say, 2 scenarios ang Supreme Court, what will happen?
Yan yung pagbobotohan ulit ng impeachment
Kasi
court.
susunod ba ang impeachment court?
So, pwede pagbotohan.
Sa
But
Supreme
that
Court?
is the very reason why the impeachment court decided to take this peculiar, unique, but not unconstitutional action of having a dialogue with the House on the compliance
Sabi nga ni, former-
para ma-prevent yung
Yes.
issue na yan na
Unusual.
magkaroon ng constitutional crisis.
Yun.
Yung nga
Yun
word
sabi
eh.
ni,
Unusual but not unconstitutional.
But it is also the prerogative of the impeachment court to try to avoid that from happening. And I think the Supreme Court, from the number of months that they haven't decided on the case, is exercising judicial restraint. And the Senate is also exercising its restraint and due diligence in taking care of these articles of impeachment.
Last na quickly lang. So, the impeachment court could reject the findings of the Supreme Court if and when it comes to that?
I think it happened already several times during the previous impeachment proceedings.
Okay. All right, with that, thank you so much for your time. That was Attorney Reginald Tongol, the spokesperson for the impeachment court. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.